Hi there, Sanda here again. So, I decided to shoot a video on a random walk because I can. And because the topic today is fear. So, what do we do when we fear something? First, it's better to do it than not to do it because at least it will move you and it will get you out of the stuckness. It will get you unstuck. Because what fear does is it keeps you safe, it keeps you stuck. Now, there are a couple of techniques that can mentally help you deal with fear. One of them is blow it up. So, make the fear very, very big. Imagine that those things you're most afraid of are actually happening. And what's left at the end of it? When you do that, when you actually allow yourself to feel all the fear, you will realize that at the very end of it, you're just blessed to be alive and you're just blessed with whatever happens. And that your biggest fears are just fears and that you cannot control it anyways. You can just be grateful for everything you've got now. So, the question that can help you with this is, what's the worst thing that can happen to me if I do this and that? And usually it's some kind of failure, death, torture, loss, or something like that. So, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? And even if you actually feel that worst thing happening to you, you will see that even if it does happen, you'll be okay, you'll deal with it somehow. All right? So that's one technique to deal with fear. Another technique to deal with fear is to feel the fear, feel the humility about that fear and how you cannot manage it, and ask the higher power you believe in to help you handle that fear, to help you take it away, to help you direct you in the way you need to go, to help you with the next steps to take. And sometimes it's moment by moment. Sometimes if you're really fearful, really anxious, if you're in the middle of a panic attack, it will be, what's the next step I need to take? And the answer will be, take a deep breath, get up, go to the fridge, get some water, sit down, prepare breakfast. Sometimes the answers will be just like that, because it's important to stay in the moment and it's important to survive minute by minute. You cannot always look at the entire overwhelming big picture and 1,000 steps in advance, because it will just keep you in the stuckness and in the fear, and it will keep you feeling overwhelmed and disempowered. So ask the higher power to help you out. That's the second way to deal with fear. Watch my video on how to start something, because there is a little important thing there, which is about when we have some fears, they're pulling in one direction. And there is fear because we actually want to go somewhere else where it's not familiar yet. And if we are having that fear, that's the contrasting experience which we can use to push us in the direction we actually want to go. So we do have a choice. Oh, look, it's a sunny, beautiful day out here. There you go. And some roadworks. But look, it's wonderful. So it's important to remember that we as human beings actually have power. We are not disempowered. We make choices. We choose what to believe, what to do, what to feel. And we choose whether we will wallow in some feeling. And it takes practice, because sometimes it's so overwhelming and so hard. Sometimes it's really hard, and everything in us keeps us in those emotions. But it takes practice. So remember to be kind and gentle to yourself first, and remember that you actually have a choice. Once you're aware of your fears, where do you go from there? What do you do from there? Will you act and make decisions from those fears? Or will you just take a step back until it all gets neutralized, and until you remember what you want to do, where you want to go, and make a conscious choice to go there and not to follow the fears? So remember the two things you can do with fear right now. One is to blow it up and ask yourself what's the worst thing that can happen until it dissolves. And the second one is to ask the higher power to take it and help out with that. So those two things, that's all for today, and I'll share some of this beautiful view with you. Bye bye. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.